और लग के कर दिखाने में, मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी, और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में ये अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी, ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this webinar called Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is a webinar series presented by the management of Franchise India every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with an aim to introduce you to a new business opportunity. Today, we have a fast-growing food and beverage brand called Auntie. Auntie is a fast-growing food and beverage brand from Bangalore, specializing in authentic Asian cuisine. The brand focus on quality, authenticity, and customer satisfaction that position it as a prominent name in the industry, catering to diverse palates and growing demand for Asian flavors. To talk more about this brand and the business opportunity, I'm joined with Shubhrati Bhaumik. He's the co-founder and the CEO of this brand. Satyajit Das, the co-founder and COO, along with Ramana Rao and Balaji, our Franchise India channel partners. Before we start the presentation and talk more about the brand and the business opportunity, I would request either Subhajit or Subhadeep or Satyajit ji can take the lead and can introduce yourself, and then we'll start talking about the presentation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Bharat, for the introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for taking time out on a Saturday morning and joining the call. So I am Shubhrati Bhaumik, one of the co-founders of brand Auntie. So just a quick intro about me. I am an engineer by qualification, post which I did my MBA from NMIMS Bombay, and then was in the corporate world. I was first with GE Healthcare and then with Johnson & Johnson, managing the South business. Always a foodie at heart and wanted to do something in the food space. So left the cushy corporate job and took the plunge way back in 2015. In fact, we are in the 10th year of operations. The vision of Auntie is simple: to be the face of Asian street food in India in a quick service, affordable format. So what Domino's did to pizza, Auntie has embarked on the journey of doing the same thing with Oriental food, with Asian food, leveraging the popularity of Chinese. So to take over the journey of the brand over the last 9 years, I will hand it over to my co-founder Satyajit. Sujit, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Shubhradeep, for the lovely introduction. And I think, it has been such a pleasure to work for Auntie Funks, to work along with you as well. So myself, Satyajit, I did my MBA, and I think both me and Shubhro were actually school friends, but we had our own paths to follow. And then we connected back when we started Auntie Funks. So I did my MBA and then joined IMRB, then AC Nielsen, uh, Bharti Airtel. I've got more than 12 years of experience there in the corporate side of life, doing consumer insights, data analytics, and here and then once we started Auntie Fungs, obviously as Shubro is also a foodie, I am also a foodie, dabbling, used to dabble before Auntie Fungs with a lot of food recipes. And then when we started Auntie Fungs about 10 years back, we decided to make this a world-class brand. And when I say world class, it's not just a one outlet phenomena, but a multi-city, multi-outlet wave that we want to create. Now, coming back in terms of when we started Auntie Fungs, I sort of look after right now the marketing side of the consumer side, the marketing side as well as the finance side, where Shubro sort of looks into operations and expansion, the business development with vendors, channel partners, and all. And it's been a great journey for us. So let me now take you, through a journey of Auntie Fungs. So Bharatji, if you can roll with the presentation that we
Sure, we'll
have.
do that. Yep, doing
Yeah.
it. Meanwhile, I would also
Yeah.
request every participant, you please keep on posting your queries into the Q&A box, and we will take all your, we will take up all your questions post the brand presentation. Hope it is
Yeah,
visible.
thank you. Yes, it's visible. Yeah, so as our tagline says, there is no sincere love than the love for food. So let's begin. Um, yeah. So why Oriental really? And as we talk about in a little more details, we'll talk about some numbers. But I think it's the number one international cuisine in India, and there are no market leaders here. Let's move to the next slide. So Oriental, as we all know, is a 30,000 crore market. And this is just, the organized space that we are talking about, second only to North Indian, much larger than the pizzas and burgers, or even some of the regional cuisines. And while Oriental food service is huge, it is also growing very healthily. Some micro trends that are also becoming a huge wave, whether it's the Korean serials, the K-pop, the popularity of Japanese, sushi and anime. Even in our menu, sushi and ramen are the top 5 items. Swiggy also says the same. And this growing awareness of Oriental cuisine will only increase in the times to come. And a multi-billion-dollar opportunity is waiting to be unlocked in India, but of course with the adaptation to the Indian taste buds. To the next slide. So while we've spoken about how big this Oriental cuisine market is, and it's the number one international cuisine, what is even more interesting is the fragmentation in this cuisine that exists. Let's look at the two most popular brands, international brands of pizzas and burgers. We all know about Domino's and Pizza Hut, the McDonald's and the Burger King in the burger space. And these two brands in each of these cuisine together contribute the lion's share. It's more than 50% of the share is contributed by these two brands alone. However, if when you see the Oriental world, what are the brands that really come to your mind? There's Wow Momos. There's some comment saying that the presentation is not visible. Bharatji, I don't know. I can see it, so we'll just possibly continue. Is it visible for all of us?
We can all see it. We can all see it. Probably
Okay,
it's
done.
Yeah, we can
Maybe
see it.
due
We
to
can
the
see it.
internet.
Internet, yeah, sure.
We can
So,
see.
so together, Wow Momos and Mainland China, the two sort of the largest brands in this space, they only contribute to a 3% of the market share. So, number one international cuisine has the smallest brand play. And what does this really mean? That this cuisine is yet to see a brand at a pan-India level which can garner a market share which is above 30-40%. And there's a huge white space at play. So with the right positioning, with the right set of people and processes, can be that brand winner. Let's move to the next slide. And with this sort of context, let me just talk about a little more about brand Auntie Fungs. So the brand really serves this market gap with a differentiated product offering, and we have a great team as well. Move to the next slide. So the chart here captures the F&B landscape of India. And we all know that price is a very, very critical factor to win in the Indian market. Hence, we've mapped our price segments, premium and value, where value is defined as a meal for two at around 600 INR. And on the y-axis and on the x-axis, we've got all the cuisines mapped out. At the center, you will see the Oriental bucket broken deliberately into Chinese and Asian. We see a cluster of brands in the premium segment, like the Papayas, Mama Gotos of the world. While in the value space, it is only the Wow family, the Wow China, Wow Momo, and also Chow Man, which exist. And there is really no brand occupying in the Asian value space. This is the gap that Auntie Fungs is trying to fulfill. It is also important to note here that Asian is not really not a watertight bucket. Consumers interact with Chinese and Asian interchangeably to mean the same set of food or cuisines. Hence, as Shubhra also mentioned, using Chinese as a hook, how can Auntie Fungs bring the world of Pan-Asian food to the Indian foodie? And over the years, we've really crafted the menu mix, keeping this in mind. Let's move to the next slide. So now that we've identified this gap and Auntie Fungs is fulfilling this gap, let me introduce you brand Auntie Fungs. The vision being to be the face of Pan-Asian street food in India in a quick service and affordable format. And one learning has been that a personality-based branding makes it easier to communicate with our audience. And that's why the brand mascot of Auntie, a 52-year-old motherly caring woman from Vietnam. And that was Auntie Fung's was born in Bangalore. And we want to take this now forward. Let's move to the next slide. As we were talking about the menu mix, as you can see in this, we've got a very well curated list of items, and this is obviously not an exhaustive list. There are many more items in the menu, but these are some of our flagships. We have the more popular Indo-Chinese items like the hakka noodles, the fried rice, or the dim sum. But we also have the more unique Pan-Asian fare, the yakitori skewers from Japan, or the Korean ramen, or the Burmese khao suey. If I have to talk about the contribution of Indo-Chinese sort of items and the exotic Pan-Asian fare, it's about 40% of that exotic Asian flavors, 40% of the popular Chinese, and the rest, 15-20% would be the baos and dim sums. Let's move to the next. Some of the pictures and videos of our outlet.
Okay,
Yeah,
we have
so-
one more video. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the outlet video. These are the more appetizing food pictures.
Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble, breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm not too hard to do. I got the superstar glow, so ooh, to the booty. A side step right left to my beat.
Thank you, Bharatji, for playing those. So you would have seen some of the video was that of our new BL Road outlet. It's a 50-seater dine-in, which currently does about 22 to 25 lakhs of sales a month. Let's move to the next slide. Yeah, Bharatji, can we move to the next slide?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So about the team structure, we've already introduced ourselves, myself and Shubhradeep. We also, along with us, we are trying to create a management team. Chef Navajit Ghosh is a veteran in the F&B industry. He was the executive chef in Taj and Oberoi for 28 long years. He was also the man behind Fresh Menu, the first cloud kitchen brand of India. And he sort of drives the entire product backend and quality control along with menu innovations. Abhay, he's a very bright young chap responsible to drive growth and sales for the company and managing the relationship with Swiggy and Zomato. He has worked with marquee cloud brands like Box 8, Cure Food, his lasting being with Swiggy. Let's move to the next slide. Apart from that, we are also backed by leading angel funds of the country and have some active angel investors as our mentors. We have India Angel Network, we have Lead Angels. They have backed us using through their investments. Let's move. So now let's really focus on the USP, that we've tried to create for our brand. It's the most loved brand with a healthy growth. There is a lot of data and decision making that happens with well-established SOPs. Let's talk about a little more on that. So our brand, with our lively mascot of our Auntie, the colors, which are a combination of bright yet subtle, to attract our core audience, which is the younger Gen Y couples as well as the middle-aged families. The operations are fully driven through SOPs, whether it's for the recipes, the service manuals, as well as a marketing handbook and a calendar that we have. There are fully automated AI-driven softwares in accounting, sales, and inventory that helps to bring transparency to our investors, to our franchisee partners, as well as to all our employees and vendors. So all these, as a mix of all these factors, really, what helps us to bring customer delight and ensure that we are loved by all. Let's move to the next slide. Good. And that brings us to the metrics, really. And what we spoke about in the previous slide, sort of backed by numbers. We have a 45% month one repeat. As per Swiggy and Zomato, this is quite a healthy number. The best in class is about 50 odd percent. We serve more than 40,000 customers in a month with an average rating of 4+ across all platforms. And all this translates into growth. And we've grown 3 times over the last 2 years. And the stores, all our stores are profitable as well. Next slide. Yeah. One other aspect that we are really proud of is our brand positioning and the consumer love. Auntie Fung's won the best Times Food Award for the best Pan-Asian food, which is like the Oscars in our industry. And even Swiggy's data is testimony to our dominance in Asian food. 1 out of 10 ramens or 1 out of 10 baos are sold on Swiggy platform comes from Auntie Fung's kitchen. Let's move. So now coming to the the operation side of it, and in F&B business, it's all about how we execute things day in and day out. It's a crucial lever to be able to build a brand at scale, and we try to use technology wherever it's possible. So how are we currently managing our operations? It's a hub and spoke model, just like any other chains like Biryani by Kilo or Rebel Foods. Strong focus on menu engineering that helps us to manage our inventory with very low wastage. The dim sum, the baos, a lot of the pre-made sauces are made in the central kitchen, while the final tossing up happens at the outlet. And even chicken, which is pre-cut, marinated by our vendors, are sent directly to the outlets. We are working with large supply chain companies like Neo Foods, Nandu's, who supply to Domino's as well as the Licious, KFC and Licious of the world. And all of this is spearheaded by our culinary in charge, Chef Ghosh, himself a 30-year-old veteran in this industry. This robust backend will ensure consistency of food, reduce wastage, as well as optimize our manpower cost at the outlet level, as we do not really need very highly skilled commies at these outlets. Let's move. So this is a very quick snapshot of the leading F&B clusters in Bangalore. We have the entire Ring Road cluster, Shahjapur, Marathalli, Whitefield, along with Indiranagar, Kamanhalli, JP Nagar. And Auntie Fung's is present in almost all these locations. We are operating there for more than 2 years in these locations with a monthly revenue of 15 lakh plus in each of these outlets and a positive EBITDA. So what is the opportunity in hand for our franchisee partners, to be associated with this growing Asian brand in Bangalore with great value and zero hassles? Let's move. So what we plan to, can we move to the next slide? So what we really plan to do is to convert what we've spoken about, these well-performing cloud kitchens of Indiranagar, Kamanhalli, Sharjapur, with a dine-in setup. We wanted to provide a very premium Asian dining experience. And this will immediately sort of increase our AOVs and also give a flip to these existing delivery business, which obviously will have a rub-off on brand saliency. And for the franchisee partner, it's a pure FOCO model, a franchisee owned, company operated model. The investment is taken care by the partner, and the brand runs the entire operations end to end, starting from identifying the location, building the outlet, the brand identity, starting operations through creating the marketing buzz, and then obviously ensuring that repeats are made and constant marketing to grow the business there. Let's move to the next slide. Some details, broad details of where the investment made by the franchisee partner is going to be utilized. It's about 45 lakhs of capex to build the outlet, signage, kitchen, IT infrastructure. And this is just an approximate calculation. The exact amount of course depends on the specific real estate that we are looking at. And another about 20 odd lakhs of refundable security deposit and 10 lakhs of franchisee fees. But what is really interesting and exciting, I think, for the franchisee partners is, for the first 3 franchisee partners, we have 3 advantages that we are providing, that the brand will provide. The franchisee fees are getting rolled back into the business as initial marketing buzz, corporate team, and working capital. We are not asking for a separate amount for that. There is a ready profitable cloud business of 15-20 lakhs per month with a loyal catchment of customers in that area and a minimum guarantee of returns of 18% per annum, and with a upside of more than 2x returns in 5 years. Let's move to the next slide. Yeah. So what really is the vision as we come to the last slide of my presentation, and what's really the vision of the brand? To be present in 20 plus cities in India and abroad, 400 outlets. A lot of it should be owned by franchisee partners like each of you. A differentiated menu and product that makes us the most loved Pan-Asian brand, and a winning team with strong back-end integration to ensure that food is consistent. So thank you so much for this, for your time. Let's open up for questions and queries.
Right. Thanks so much, sir, for the detailed presentation. Right. Now it's open. I mean, hopefully all the viewers must have gone through with the detailed presentation, must have got some idea. But still, in case if anyone have any question related to the financials, anything, you of course can put it into the Q&A box, and then we will come back with the answers. Meanwhile, I would also request Balaji, I mean, who's our channel partner, who had a visit to the outlet, right? I would like to get some insight from that, from your experience about the store, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Satrajit. It was a wonderful presentation. And it was really a privilege for me to visit the outlet about a week back. It was a wonderful experience because I come from an F&B background for close to a decade. uh, before I also started consulting. So that gave me a fantastic experience. The ambience, the food, and the kind of cuisine. It was very unique, and definitely this is I mean, it's a brand to look forward for, and a brand to look forward for me to work with also. So I was really, I mean, enjoying the food that Supradeep had actually ordered for me. It was very unique. I haven't tasted Asian food as such. You know, we always get confused with Asian and Chinese. So I think this was really, authentic, and I really loved the food. So definitely, I think Bangalore being, I would probably put Bangalore as a food capital. You know, we have, I mean, people here enjoy all kind of food, all kind of cuisine, and this is definitely going to create a change for people across. And already it is an accepted brand. So as an investor, it is a fantastic opportunity to look forward for and work with the brand.
Right. Thank you. Thanks so much, sir, for your sharing for your experience. Any remarks from your side, Ramana ji?
Yeah, I think thank you for the wonderful presentation by the founders. Like, in the interest of the viewers, I would like to have a couple of clarifications on the financials is concerned. I think he told that total investment is about 75 lakhs and the capex 45, and the balance franchisee fees and the deposit goes into that. Okay. So in terms of revenue share, what is that? Is it 18% is the minimum assured return? And is there any monthly revenue share would be there?
Bro, you want to take that?
Yes. So, Ramana, I think this was one thing which we also wanted to explain. So, but given that the stage of the business, we are clear that the franchisee partner needs to earn healthy money from day one. So,
Right.
what we are saying is a minimum guarantee or a rev share, whichever is higher. Okay,
Okay.
and that will be so after the first 3 months, which is like the moratorium, because generally for the first 2-3 months, the store takes some time to ramp up. Although in these top 3 locations, which Jeet also mentioned, that we are also giving a ready-made cloud business to start with. But still, after the first 3 months, so a minimum guarantee, which is like 18% of the principal which is invested, or 6% of the revenue, whichever is higher.
Okay.
So that's the maths, and we are confident that if on a 5-year franchise agreement, the first 24 to 30 months is when the principal gets recovered, and for the balance 30 months is when the partner makes the profit. So obviously, from month 4 onwards, after the first 90 days of moratorium, every month the partner gets a minimum guarantee or the 6% revenue, whichever is higher.
Okay. Yeah, that's very important. That's a good, returns.
Yeah. So there is a minimum guarantee and then there is an upside. You have an upside as well. Which,
Absolutely, it's a very attractive proposition, considering that you have a ready cloud business for the investor.
Exactly.
So he is assured of returns from day one.
From day one. That's right. Right.
Shubha, we have a question in the Q&A box. If you could take that, or maybe Mr. Jeet can take it.
Yeah, is the brand which is also the same which was there in Galleria Market, Gurgaon? Yes, the same brand. We had a presence in Gurgaon in the past. But currently, that outlet is not there. So, in fact, we don't have any presence in Delhi NCR as of now. The strategy is first to go deep in Bangalore, build Bangalore, and probably another one more city in South India, whether it's Chennai or Hyderabad, over the next 12 to 18 months, and then probably go to Delhi NCR at a later date. But
So
yes, this was the.
So your phase 1 is primarily, Bangalore only. Yeah.
Is primarily Bangalore and maybe another city in South India over the next 12 to 18 months. And then we go back to North at a later date.
Okay.
So how many stores you are expecting to see in Bangalore? What is your expansion plans in that way?
In Bangalore, in the next 12 months, our plan is to open 6 stores.
6 more.
Six more. Exactly the model of what the new BL Road store is, where Balaji also visited and the videos also showed. Roughly about 1,500, 1,600 square feet, 50, 52 seater, the capex, the maths which is shown in the screen. I mean, realistic to realistic things may change. If we are getting a good location at 1200 square feet, will we say no? Of course not. Or if we get a location at an 1800 square feet, we will take that up. But this is the broad plan. Because see, it's a cookie cutter model. Like the model is clear that okay, this will be the store layout, this will be the menu, this will be the staff that is needed, and hence the maths will be basis this.
Do
Okay.
you have a store in Electronic City?
No, not yet. We'll go there later.
Okay,
That's a good catchment, but we'll
Yeah.
probably do it later. The first phase, even within the 6, if you have to prioritize the pecking order, the 6 will be, I think the other day Pradeep was also there in the outlet, and Balaji has already heard it. So the pecking order will be phase 1, the first 3 will be Sarjapur, Indiranagar, Kalyan Nagar. Then it will be Electronic City, JP Nagar, then maybe even CBD area. So those are phased. So that's the layout of the next 12 months.
Great.
And if you look at the outlet, this is a combination of seating. You have a live kitchen where sushis are prepared, and you also have a kitchen where people can see how the food is prepared. So that also gives an experience, the first-hand experience of the hygiene that is maintained in the kitchens, and a confidence level of the quality of that food that we get.
Yeah, I think Balaji, this is a good point, and I would like to spend a minute on this. I think
Yes.
in food business, transparency and making things in the open builds trust and faith. And we wanted to use this also as a marketing tool, because what's our tagline? It says Asian street food. So on the streets of Bangkok and Vietnam, you see everything in front, and then straight from the tawa, it's getting served onto you. How can we give that in a more experienced format? And hence, okay, there is a kitchen where cooking is happening, but there's a glass frontage. Then the live sushi and the dim sum counter. That is probably the biggest experience zone, especially in the consumer target today, where everything is on Instagram. People eat with their eyes first, and then they actually taste the food. So get the live sushi rolling and those things, people taking photos of that, has become a huge marketing buzz. And we want to just ensure that how do we leverage this to make the wow to the consumers. So it's all a part of the layout and the design thinking at the drawing board level.
Okay. We also have a few questions in the Q&A box. You would like to take one by one?
I can't see what are the other questions. After Lalit's question on Gurgaon.
So no. So I think this has comes up in a separate Q&A.
It is a Q&A that was in chat.
It's in
How
chat.
do I see that? How do I
There
see
is a
that?
Q&A. No.
Oh,
So I'll
sorry.
just- The franchisee is already locking up a lot of capital in the capex. Why the additional 20 lakh?
Oh, okay.
security
Now I can see. Okay. So I think for people, so the security deposit is the deposit with the landlord, and 20 lakh is a ballpark number that we have put. Depends upon the real estate. It can be 15 lakh, it can be 12 lakh, it can be 22 lakh also. But this is the deposit, which is a standard, unfortunately, a very standard practice in Bangalore. So, which is the amount. But it is refundable. So at the end of 5 years, it comes back from the landlord, and immediately it goes back to the franchise part.
Okay. We also have the second one.
The second question, similar lines, but there's another element to it. The franchise partner will get back. Yes, you will get back the security deposit, but because the landlord is also, it's an interest-free deposit that the landlord is taking, so we can't really give a interest on that. It is without any interest. The deposit comes back. What percentage of the business comes from Swiggy and Zomato, and what's the margin from the online business? Okay. So in our New BL Road store, or the 2 stores where we have dine-in, the dine-in business versus the delivery business is kind of 50-50. So if you are doing about 24 lakh of revenue, 12 lakh comes from Swiggy, Zomato, and 12 lakh comes from the dine-in business. And the gross margin in dine-in business is obviously higher, because after your food cost and LPG cost, everything else is so your gross margin in dine-in is about 65 to 70%, but the gross margin in delivery business is about 40% because the Swiggy Zomato commission, the performance marketing, or even the discounts that you need to run sucks out some amount of the gross margin there. Is it possible to visit one of the existing stores and interact to understand operations? Yes, of course, it's possible. This is in New BL Road. So our franchise India team is also there. If you want to visit the store, keeping us informed, then definitely our team will arrange a visit for you. But yes, you are most welcome.
Yeah, so perfect. Yeah, in case if you would like to, have a visit to the store, that's the best idea I can say, right? In case,
In fact, just to add on, but I think for all of you on the call, whoever wants to take the discussion forward, you should definitely visit the store because in food business, proof of the eating is in eating, right? Proof of the pudding. So a PowerPoint presentation or an Excel file can only do that much justice. You have to go and visit, see, experience the buzz, eat the food, and then we take the discussion forward.
absolutely,
So please.
absolutely. Right. Any preference for your side from your side? Like, I mean, any preference for the kind of franchisee partner you would like to have? Anyone who's already in all this kind of business, or someone who is a fresher one?
Honestly, I would not. I will answer it in a different way. We are looking for a franchisee partner who is passionate about food and who wants to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I mean, this is the right way that, okay, you work. I mean, even if you are working, see, both of us have come from corporate world and we had never entered a commercial kitchen till 3 months before starting Auntie Funks. But so if you are a corporate guy or you do something else, but food is something which has always excited you. But yes, you want to work with someone who is doing this for the last 19 years. You just need to be passionate about it and work closely with us. But don't want to take this up full time. Yes, but there will be complete. You will anyways have visibility to the monthly MIS, daily dashboard, and everything. The only requirement for us, passionate about food and dreaming big.
Yeah. Continuing with this question, what is the role of an investor, a franchisee partner, apart from the investment he is going to bring in?
Well, that's the point. I think, see, different people have different expectations. We are absolutely neutral about it. If a franchisee partner, other than the capital, if he or she wants to play an active role in supervising that specific outlet, yes, there will be guidelines and SOPs which the organization follows. He or she is most welcome to supervise. Okay, say a Sarjapur location or an Indiranagar location. I've put in 60 lakh, 70 lakh, and I want to see what's happening. Please, most welcome. But yes, I have other job, but I want to be a passive visit there once a week or once a month, but I need transparency in terms of dashboard, data and all. That is also equally welcome. So we are pretty
Any
flexible
incentive
in
for
that.
more participation?
Sorry?
Any incentive, more incentive for more participation from the investor?
Very exciting, flavorful, free food for life.
Yes. Okay. Well, if you could also a little bit in brief, in case if you could talk more about someone who's looking for this and who does not have any such kind of previous experience, what all kind of support you will be providing them in terms of like, okay, it is a FOCO one, right? So yeah,
it's a FOCO
Yeah.
model, so everything will be all
Done
the
by-
headache,
yeah.
all the pain and the agony of this business. Anyways, it's in our shoulders, and it can be a good testing ground tomorrow. I mean, 3 years down the line, you want to we would want, okay, you don't create a brand which is a competitor to us. Maybe you want to build the next Sarvara Bhavan coming out of Bangalore. This is the learnings of Auntie Funks. Most welcome.
Wow, perfect.
So
All right.
maybe you can throw some light on the marketing that you been doing for the outlets or what you propose to do.
Okay, so a good question, Balaji. I think so. Generally, what do we do from a marketing standpoint? So whenever a new store opens, so we have the first. It's a 100-day plan. 100 meaning T minus 10 to T plus 90. So if day T0 is my launch day, so what are the things we start from 10 days in advance? Then okay, there's a new store coming up in Sarjapur. So you have your catchment and whether it is pin code based targetings from that, okay, a new outlet is coming, is at Jaipur in this location. We do newspaper pamphlets, the very traditional desi mechanism of SMS WhatsApp blast in those pin codes targeted around apartment condos. There are different profile segments which you get from different companies. So SMS WhatsApp blast and some newspaper inserts. That's the traditional thing. Then on the day of the launch, we do social media buzz, again pin code based. And then the first 90 days, it's a structured plan. Okay, every Wednesdays and Fridays there will be SMS blast and newspaper inserts, and then you do social media buzz. And then what, after 15 days, once the kitchen ops is kind of set in place, that's when we start influencer marketing. So hyperlocal influencers will come, they will try the food, and then they will start promoting it in their handles. And one learning for us over the last 8-9 years is that while traditional mechanisms of newspaper insert and SMS blast, these are hygiene marketing. It just helps you to stay relevant and activate those dormant consumers. But new trials come a lot from these influencer marketing. In food and in fashion, data also says that influencer marketing works wonderfully. And that is something which we do. A blogger's table in the restaurants, or send food samples to the more premium ones. Some are on barter, just free food works. For some, you have to pay. This is their follower base. If somebody has a 1 million plus follower, just free food won't cut the ice. Probably give some pay. So it's a combination of social media, influencer marketing, and traditional things like SMS, WhatsApp blast, and newspaper inserts.
Okay. Meanwhile, I've just shared our hotline number in the chat box. In case if anyone would like to have a discussion with the brand directly, then you of course can contact us on our number 9717683838, or you can also write to us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. Meanwhile, I would also request Ramana Rao and Balaji, if you could also share your number in the chat box. So in case if anyone would like to get in touch with you, then can directly call you. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so I don't find any further question, but this discussion has been a fabulous one. Great presentation, and everything is now, I think, clear, right? Shubhadeep have made everything very clear, but still, in case if anyone may want to have a discussion, with a meal at store, that will again be a best idea, I would say. Right. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So you may contact. We have you will have local partners. So we have Balaji and we have Ramana Rao. These people are accessible over their phone. Yeah. So that's it for the day, I guess. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this webinar and staying with almost for 45 minutes. I would also like to appreciate all the panelists, Satyajit, Shubhadeep, and Balaji and Ramana Rao sir, for being available for this webinar. Right, it was absolutely a fantastic webinar today. Everything was very much clear. But yes, it is all about the business. Of course, this can be one of the very good choice in case if anyone would like to go for this brand, specifically in the phase 1, Bangalore. Right. So that's it for the day. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.